Let it begin. Hello on the live stream.
Take this hat off, actually.
Let me take a shit real quick. Let me take a big old poopy. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes, Rob Dog. Oh, damn.
Let me let my hair down.
OBS is a different monster.
Yeah.
It's a giant piece of shit. Actually, it's really good. I need to learn how to use it.
Right.
So we can put pictures and stuff up. There's a lot of pictures that could have went with this episode.
Well,
It doesn't matter now. It's too late.
fuck it. I'll hold up a picture of them.
Just like do finger puppets of what you think they look like.
What's up, fuckers?
Oh, wow. Look at all these live bitches. What's up, brohios? All right, let's move back to the research here and get this thing going. Oh, before we get going, I got to pull up that email I got.
Oh, yeah. I'm intrigued ever since you mentioned it.
Oh, just guzzling for life. Okay, I think we're good now. Look, it's recording too.
Cool.
The SD card is not full, and it still does the stuff. Even when sorry, hold on a second. Even when I format the SD card, the stuff still works.
Surprise,
Nice.
motherfucker.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get that other one to work at all?
I haven't tried.
Godspeed.
I plugged it in, and actually, yeah, I'm a liar. I tried, and then it didn't, it wasn't selectable, so I was like, I'm not fucking with any drivers right now.
Oh, that's not. I can send you the drivers.
I'm just going to look them up,
Yeah,
too.
it's easy.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom. Realest guy in the room. Okay, let's record it. You ready to record it? There we go. A lot of cat hair over there.
Unique New York. Unique New York.
I don't know, Rob Dog. It sounded really weird. Maybe.
Okay.
Hopefully
say so.
Did it sound weird to you? Oh my
Nope.
God. What are you drinking? Tell him what you're drinking.
I should have stone cold that beer on you like you did me that one fucking time.
I got you way better. I got you way better.
Yeah, you did. You fucking drenched me. It's a waste of beer. Cool Beans. It's from Jackie O's local brewery.
Cool Beans.
Golden coffee ale with lactose.
Welcome back to the Beanie Cream Spot. I'm one half of the delicious, amazing, extravagant, succulent twin duo. I'm the delicious Nicolicious.
I'm Rob Dog. Hey guys, how's everybody going? Hopefully it's going good, and hopefully you're staying warm because it is colder than shit. We got a lot of snow. I lost one of my kids in it yesterday. What can you do?
Is he back?
I got two more. I'm not worried about it.
Okay,
I didn't even look.
All right. Well, we're doing a GoFundMe for Rob Dog because it's a cool thing to do is a GoFundMe anytime you can't afford anything. I think you should have $10,000 put back for every person that could possibly die in your life, just so you don't have to beg for fucking.
Makes sense.
I don't practice that.
I don't have $10,000.
I had $10,000. No, I did never have that once. It was cool to think about it. Speaking of thinking about stuff, I just told Rob Dog about a really weird dream I had last night.
I almost thought it was anecdote. I just thought it was shtick at first.
No, it was real. It creeped me out. I'm not going to talk about it on the line. Maybe we'll do a little side Patreon episode, and I'll tell you all about that one.
That was a good one.
Well, first up on our Patreon subscribers, we got Big Dick Fest. Big Dick Fest, thank you for your Patreon pledge.
Next, we got Robert Daniel Wallison. Thank you very much.
Bailey Bricker. Bailey Bricker, thank you for having such a cool name, BB.
Man. Kevin Walhoff. Thank you very much, Mr. Walhoff.
And Hans. Thanks, Hans, for the Patreon subscription.
Mr. Hans.
Were you coffee before you came here? Because you just coughed. I want to tell you something that happened in this room.
Was I coughing?
No, before you came here, were you coughing? Because you just had like a cough, like a weird cough.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Those fucking spicy ass peanuts we ate.
Yeah?
Were all over the floor. And I was stomping around in here. I crushed them all up, and it smelled like a fucking pepper spray convention in here for like 10 minutes.
Oh, man.
And I was gagging. And, you know, like that burning feeling.
Yeah.
So there's peanut juice floating through the air right now.
Maybe that's what's going on.
And I was thinking to myself, maybe it's just me, but then you sit down and you're like, ah!
Yeah, I'm always like, I'm hacking, man. It also could be, like I said, that I was out shoveling snow for 2 hours before.
Your lungs are giving out on you.
Yeah, so I had to, like, sit down and take my mother-in-law's oxygen for a little while. Like, you'll live for a little bit.
Yeah, I just used to have my mom breathe into my mouth, and that worked pretty well for me.
Mama bird you with her.
Child Protective Services over at the house a couple times, but they knew I loved my mama.
Yeah, you get to know their name, get them to know my name.
Yeah, what's up, motherfuckers?
Hey, Terry, how's it going?
Yeah. Oh, the way to keep them away is just every time they come over to investigate, just immediately pull your penis out and start pissing wherever you're at.
Answer the door naked.
Okay, this is a really special episode. We're doing Sideshow Freaks, and as of right now, tentatively, we have an interview scheduled with Lori Beth Denberg of Nickelodeon fame, 1990s. She is all that and a bag of chips. She is so much fun. She has her own podcast called Bad Advice with Lori Beth Denberg. And Rob and I can attest. Neither of us really listen to podcasts that much. We both started picking up listening to her stuff this week, and it's a really good show.
It is really good,
She is so authentic and pure and wholesome and funny like us and fucked up, so I'm really looking forward to talking to her.
I can't wait.
I'm going to tell her all the bad stuff I used to think about her when I was a kid. not like, bad stuff, but the naughty stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I can't wait.
We're over the moon to talk to her.
I got a couple questions that I can't wait to ask her. Hopefully it's more of a conversation, not just us asking her 1,000 questions.
Yeah, she has not committed to a video Zoom.
Okay.
But she did not decommit either. I just haven't asked her.
Sure.
So I set it up for video Zoom because I want to stare at her. I want her to make eye contact with me, and I want to tell her a really bad story from when I was a kid.
We can get her preference once we get to it. But
yeah, that's fine. All right, we got a big article for you this week. It's called, it doesn't have a name. It's not called anything. It's Warren Police Search for Man Who Pooped in Unlocked Cars at Auto Shops. Employees at 2 different Warren auto shops were shocked when they realized a random man pooped in cars that belonged to customers. Warren police told Fox 2 Detroit, that's a wonderful fucking place to be, they're on the lookout for a man who pooped in unlocked cars at Mr. Friendly Auto Service in Twins Tire Service. The man first struck at Mr. Friendly Auto Service in November, which is located at something Van Dyke. The manager, Chris Phillips, told Fox 2 after they realized someone used their customer's car as a bathroom, he checked the security cameras. According to Fox 2, the security footage showed the man grabbing sanitary napkins, opening a customer's van, and pooping inside of it. The man came back again in January, but kept his pants on that time. The second incident happened February 3rd at Twins Tire Service, located at 2911 Van Dyke Avenue. An employee at Twins Tire Service said they were fixing a van with electrical problems, so the vehicle couldn't lock properly. The employee said it was unsettling. The poop froze due to cold temperatures.
Oh, man.
He was able to shovel it out of the car, which was a slightly easier cleanup. After this, the auto
you got to break out a shovel to get turds out, even when they're frozen? Wow.
After this, the auto shop deep cleaned the car from the customer free of charge. They're still investigating the incidents. And it says, a man went into a local mire, pooped in an empty box, and left it on a shelf. Okay, that was back in October. What kind of fucking maniac?
It's like it's really funny story, but honestly, if you think about it, that's kind of shitty for that guy. Get it?
Well, yeah. And it led me, my dad works in the car business.
Right.
And part of his shtick is he kind of in a rough part of town. Mm-hmm. He leaves the fucking cars unlocked because they'll break the goddamn windows to get in them. He just doesn't leave anything in them.
Yeah, it's cheaper to just let them get in and instead of breaking the windows.
Well, they were working on a van or something. They opened up the back of the van. And there was a Bengal starter jacket, and then next to it was a big old pile of shit right in the middle. And this is last winter, I think.
So there was 2 Bengals jackets.
Yeah, and so my older brother works with my dad, and it's just those two. and there was a war of fucking worlds for months. They fucking locked this van and just pushed it to the back of the lot and just let it sit because neither one of them were going to clean the turd out.
Did it ever get cleaned out?
I don't know if it did or not. I think someone just bought the van. My dad's like, well, I gotta be honest with you. I knocked off about $17 because here's the quarters. You're going to need to go vacuum it out.
We left your turd in the back. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for him.
Where's my fucking phone? We're calling his ass right now.
Yeah, I want to know if he sold it with the turd in it.
I gotta call him. He probably, I don't know. He'll be shy about it. Let's call him. See.
Got that handy dandy Bluetooth button.
I haven't hooked it up to the phone.
Hello?
Hey, Dad.
Yep.
Hey, it's Nick.
Damn, if this don't sound like Nick.
So I was reading, or doing the podcast, and I was reading this article from the Detroit Free Press about a man that was shitting in cars at car lots. And I was telling Rob, you guys had a similar incident with a Bengals jacket involved.
That motherfucker paid my place a visit.
Oh no! Well, Rob's question was, I told Rob, I said I think just locked it like a ticking time bomb, left it for someone to come and clean it back up. But Rob wants to know if you actually sold the vehicle or like
with the turd in it.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah, sold it, and with the shit in it.
That's what I wanted to know.
Did you at least leave a log of quarters on the front seat so they could take it to the fucking cleaners?
Well, I did get the Bengals jacket out with a pair of needle nose pliers.
So
and
nasty.
the damn toilet paper was still flying around inside.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, you need to fire my brother. That's all that boils down to right there.
Well, you think he did it?
Yeah, I do. It was either me or him.
I'd say from the looks of things, it was a big motherfucker.
Looked like a gorilla did it.
Silverback.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your shows there.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So there you heard it from the patriarch himself.
I was hoping he sold it with the turd in
Said,
it.
I sold that motherfucker. I'll send it on down the road. People wonder. They say, Nick, why are you so fucked up? What the fuck is wrong with you? What happened in your life that did this to you? I say, well, for one, my dad.
You can tell by talking to him right there that that's what happened to him.
He's a mess, man.
It's so good, though.
He's got some. But the fun thing about him is he's just imagine me, 30 years older, so 500% less tolerance for anything.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
And you shit your pants, I can tell.
Oh, yeah? Can you smell it?
Yeah. I can smell it.
Sorry. You might be able to hear it if we rewind it.
Oh,
You can-
I heard you do it, but I forgot about it
we
until
can-
it
we can
started.
Yeah, we can Skype it in.
Until it started hitting in this area.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right.
So we're super excited for Lori Beth Denberg. Sorry to you wonderful people of Detroit. They're having your car shit in. I hope that fucking comes out in the wash, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, I mean, they live in Detroit, so I mean.
Yeah, they're like, man, that's all I do is poop in my car. I get nervous. I shit in my car. I've only tried, and you said you have to do this kind of on the reg, but I've only tried to pee in my car once, and it was a literal fucking disaster. I had piss on the clusters up on the dashboard. I got piss in the cassette deck. Yeah, I had a cassette deck at the time, but
It's an acquired talent, that's for sure.
can you do it while you're driving?
I did last week, yeah.
And-
Typically I don't because it's difficult. But
It's difficult. It's like a fucking high. It's like doing the trapeze above the Empire State Building.
it depends where I'm at. Like I gotta be wary of where I'm at. There was one time that
you don't want everybody seeing your dick.
I was working at I was doing a job at a church, and I drove around to the side where there was nobody at, and it was the side where they do like I guess there was like they do their daycare. And I didn't notice till after the fact. I went to the back of my truck and I was like, okay, cool, nobody's around, so I just whipped it out and pissed. And then as I was getting back into my truck, I looked over at the door and there was a fucking Ring doorbell on the outside.
Oh my god, you were probably sweating bullets for a few days after that one.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah, I'd just start pissing my pants from that point on.
And I wasn't even turned away from the camera either.
You're like, hey, look at my wiener.
Yeah, it's
Put that on your Ring doorbell.
if I'm in the bad area where there's like alleyways, I can just step out and do that. But if not, I gotta pull out the old Tim Hortons cup and fill her up.
Fill it back up.
Yeah, man.
The Ring, my doorbell came on today, and I was at work, so I pulled it up, and it was my wife letting my old 15-year-old dog out the front door
Mm-hmm.
because when it's snowing out, he doesn't like to walk down the back deck. So
yeah.
she's being nice and taking him out front. And I'm watching on the doorbell. I'm watching it all unfold. And he walks out to the street. I'm like, oh, my God, he's going to get fucking hit. So immediately it turns into like an out-of-body experience where I'm watching this all go down. And I'm screaming. And I can't do anything. And she's just standing there. And then he finally like starts to squat to shit. And I can tell he's right on top of the sidewalk. And Stacy's just like, motherfucker, goddamn. Because we live in a nice neighborhood. People don't leave piles of shit on the sidewalk.
She just kicks snow over top of it.
So she starts trudging out there. You know, we got 10 feet of snow right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got the snow shovel. And she's got to scoop it up and throw it wherever. And he takes like 3 steps away. And then she puts her back towards him. And she starts to shovel the shit. Well, the snow is so deep she can't really do anything. And he just takes off walking like down the street away from her while she's got her back to him. He just fucking walked away. And I'm like, no!
Poor guy.
No! So then she turns around and he's gone. She's like, God damn it! And she had to go get him down the street. And then I text her while she's out there. I said, that looks very traumatic. And then she got back inside and she told me that she hated me and that she wanted to leave me. But it worked out. We're still in love. We're still truly, madly, deeply in love like Savage Garden, so there's nothing to worry about anymore.
Oh, man.
She just hates my dog. He's got cataracts and he's deaf. Give him a fucking break, you know?
He goes outside. It's something new for him. He goes out front.
It is. He doesn't like to go outside when the snow can touch his wiener either. He's just like me.
It can definitely touch now.
All right, let's get on to...
Wait, are you going to get into the email?
Oh, I forgot all about the email. God damn it.
Before we get started, sorry, guys.
Okay, I got a really, really creepy email today.
Okay.
And anything that starts with law enforcement, I get really worried. So
Hell yeah.
here's the email I got. My personal email today. It says, do not try to turn to law enforcement agencies. They will fail to solve your issue. I am a foreign citizen. Now carefully, until the end, follow this notice, lest the consequences may be irreversible. Your jerk-off has been recorded through my program. One of its opportunities is activation of a web camera of the victim remotely. I also downloaded all contacts from email and have access to your social networks. I am not going to go into details how they have occurred. I'm going to give you a tip. Leave away from dubious websites, and antivirus should always be updated. But such actions not necessarily can save your device. Within 48 hours, as soon as you read this message, you give money to me for keeping quiet, and I will destroy all blackmail material where you jacking off. If you defy these demands, in 96 hours, I'll send your heinous video to your buds and family. In so doing, destroying your reputation in the eyes of others forever. I'm not interested in what you do during your own time. I care about payoff for the activity I carried out. It isn't for me to judge your bias, though it is a great sin in any religious thought. It makes no sense to write and beseech me. This electronic mail is hacked, and soon there will be no access to it. Is that the best one ever?
That is awesome.
Called my jerk.
He caught you jerk off.
And I was thinking for a second. I'm like, oh my God. Steve, I haven't beat off in a long time. So this theoretically,
Yeah.
I don't know what. Then I started thinking, would I really be that ashamed if there was just a video of me just fucking cranking it?
Right.
People wouldn't watch it. They'd be like, just turn their heads. They wouldn't want to watch it. And then there was an attachment. I'm not going to open it, but it's a Bitcoin purse on a notepad. They want me to send $1,500. So there's no video of me fucking beating my meat. They're going to use it for blackmail.
Little they know you have an OnlyFans page.
Dude, I got that at work at first. It says, do not turn to law enforcement. I'm like, oh, great. They got one of my kids. I was so scared for my life. And then I got to the next line. Your jerk off has been recorded through my program.
Your jerk off has been.
And I'm like, what fucking jerk off are they talking about? When was the last time I've.
What are you doing with Rob?
And this came after my really traumatic dream last night. Yeah. And I said, God damn it, what the fuck did I do last night?
The dream surveys are real.
Yeah. It's a dream survey. I got your jerk recorded. I just like how formal. Don't turn to law enforcement. I've got your jerk off on camera.
I've got your jerk off.
I recorded your jerk off.
Oh, God, man. That's good.
So if you have a video of my jerk off, send me an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to give you $1,500 for that video to save my reputation And it even says...
We want to preview it first, though, just to make sure.
Yeah, we want to make sure I look good on
Hopefully
camera.
you're wearing your mullet wig.
Hopefully the camera adds 10 pounds to my penis. It says, I'm going to show it to your buds and family. It says buds.
But
I don't even have any buds. You're like the only dude I hang out with.
yeah.
We're going to give it to Rob Dog.
Be like, cool, man.
Rob's like, dude, I got a video of you jerking off.
I see you didn't give that guy $1,500.
Yeah. I'm glad you saved the money, and I'm glad I got the video, so it was a win-win for everybody involved. Oh, my God. All right, let's get on to the episode.
Man, that's funny.
20 fucking minutes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, let's do a brief pause for some of our dynamically inserted ads.
Sure.
I've been trying to incorporate that more because I never know when to drop them in.
Okay.
I just wing it. All right. There is no real recorded history of the first Sideshow. We're talking about sideshows and freaks in this episode. There's no real recorded history of the first Sideshow in America. P.T. Barnum started promoting the human novelties he called freaks in his traveling show in 1835, and he opened his larger freak show at the American Museum in Manhattan in 1841. When a fire in 1868 destroying his museum, Barnum founded P.T. Barnum's Grand Traveling Museum, Menagerie, Caravan, and Circus. From the Fiji Mermaid, General Tom Thumb, who we'll talk about, and George Washington's nurse, the Siamese twins Chang and Ing Bunker, we're going to talk about them too. Barnum presented intriguing individuals with unique bodies and minds as wild and exotic marvels. This is a kind of a cool story, and I don't know if I've ever told this story before. Growing up, my dad lived by some railroad tracks, and there was said to have been some type of train wreck involving a circus going through using the train tracks. And he raised horses growing up, and one of his horses got out, and when it came back, it had like fucking gnarly ass claw marks down the side of the horse. He said it was bigger than anything that could have been around.
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot of reports and stories from a long time ago where things have escaped from the circus, not necessarily that huge stories, but
Dang.
I'm fascinated by escaped wild animals in I guess, suburban areas.
Yeah.
And he kind of had a run-in with that.
That's pretty cool.
This first freak, I don't like to call them freaks.
Yeah.
Kind of feel bad.
Right.
But they're all dead.
It is derogatory, I would say.
These freaks. This first one is...
Just call them attractions.
Do you watch American Horror Story?
Yeah.
There was the one season ago where there's a really weird-looking thing with like a pinhead.
Yeah. That was the best season, in my opinion.
Okay, that's exactly what this person looks like. Schlitzie, the last of the Aztecs. Schlitzie, or it's spelled two different ways.
Have you seen the actress that plays that character?
Yeah.
She's really pretty.
She fucking freaks me the fuck out in the role she plays. So
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Schlitzie Surtees, birth name possibly Simon Metz, unknown. It was a male. It was a man. It was a ma'am.
He was a male.
Is one of the most famous pinhead sideshow performers in history, primarily due to his role in Todd Browning's 1932 film Freaks. And although Schlitzie's persona in the film, as well as on stage, was female, he was actually a male off stage.
Okay.
Schlitzie was born with a condition known as microcephaly, a developmental disorder which causes the skull and brain to be undersized. Microcephalax are also typically of short stature. Schlitzie was only 4 feet tall. Schlitzie's condition also left him severely mentally disabled, which made him unable to perform many basic tasks and only capable of speaking short words or phrases. I gotta show you a picture. I do want you to see a picture of some of these people.
Okay, sure. I would definitely like to.
Schlitzie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks... Wow, man.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
God damn it. That is an ugly motherfucker right there. His jaw is the size of a regular man.
That's the picture I'm used to seeing, the woman in the yellow and red dress or pullover. Yeah.
That is...
I've seen that picture before.
Look at the arms on that thing. That is... He is a weird-looking dude, man. That is really something else.
Wow. Okay.
I just think that it's fascinating that there was a time where they just found all of these weird people. Not necessarily weird people. I'm trying to be culturally sensitive in this episode.
That they just parade him around.
Yeah, people pay money just to look at this person or this thing. In some instances, they're things like the mermaid.
They treat them as things. I mean, that's definitely for sure. I mean,
the mermaid we talked about, the P.T. Barnum, the Fiji mermaid was a
right.
It was a monkey's head sewn to a fish's body.
Okay.
And it wasn't living, but they said that it was a real life mermaid. And they would parade this thing around, the country saying, "Oh my God, check out the amazing Fiji mermaid as we've come to." And they have, there it is. It's just a fucking,
what the fuck?
It's a monkey's head sewn to a fish's body. Isn't that hot?
That's pretty sweet.
Send me that link, I'd click on it. They didn't catch his jerk off on the webcam, did they?
Definitely not.
All right, I'll let you tell them all about Tom Thumb.
Sure, Tom Thumb. So this is Charles Sherwood Stratton, better known as General Tom Thumb, is one of the most famous little person sideshow performers in history. Young Charles stopped growing at approximately 2 feet tall.
That's terrifying.
That is very short, yes. At the age of 4, he was discovered by P.T. Barnum himself, actually a relative of the Strattons, and quickly became a member of Barnum Circus. For the next 40 years until his death in 1883, Charles had wild success as General Tom Thumb, earning a fortune that would make him a millionaire today.
Oh, my God.
Where's he at?
He's right there. He's the one.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, he's fucking tiny, dude.
Okay, yeah. Let's see here. Lost my spot there, earning him a millionaire. He even bailed out Barnum Circus at one point and married another little person, Lavinia Warren, a.k.a. Mrs. Tom Thumb.
She's right there.
Which earned him a reception at the White House, care of President Abraham Lincoln. Although he started growing again later in life, he was only just barely over 3 feet tall, and even after his death, Stratton's doctors were never able to pinpoint the exact cause of his dwarfism.
There he is with his wife and his daughter.
Okay.
I bet you that baby tore her butthole out of the frame coming out.
Yeah, she's holding the baby, and the baby's literally almost the same size as her. So I'm wondering if that baby was a full-size child.
Yeah. I was trying to think of some really good short jokes right here, but I didn't really think of anything.
Yeah.
They're really, really small people.
They are. They honestly, if I couldn't see their height-wise, though, I wouldn't be able to tell just by looking at like their faces.
No, they got fucking mongoloid heads. Look at those things. They got something wrong with them, dude. They're not normal. This next one's one of my favorites that we covered here. Ching and Ing.
Ching and Ing.
They were Siamese twins. They might not be household names, but they did make an important contribution to the Sideshow's history. They were the original Siamese twins, so called because they were conjoined twins who were born in modern-day Thailand, or Siam, in 1811. Joined to the sternum, I guess we're a sternum, that's a chest.
Mm-hmm.
Joined to the sternum, the brothers lived their lives facing chest to chest, though with modern medicine, they'd be easily separable since they shared no major organs other than a slightly fused liver.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they could have very well have been separated. But I'll get to that.
Cool.
As the boys grew older, they settled in North Carolina, adopted the surname Bunker, bought a plantation complete with slaves.
Of course they did.
And even married a pair of non-conjoined sisters with whom they fathered a total of 21 children.
Holy shit.
God, I hope you're ready for a double dicking tonight, little girl. Due to the brothers' condition, their marriage bed was custom built and had room for the 4 of them to sleep together.
Huh.
Later, however, the 2 wives reportedly found they couldn't get along, and so the brothers moved into 2 separate houses, alternately spending 3 days to a week at each, depending on the sources. They died, so the wives wouldn't get along. And even the fact that they were able to get these wives to sleep together in the same fucking bed in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And they are conjoined twins. And I have no idea why I'm completely fascinated by Siamese twins. Conjoined twins, I should say. But I am fucking fascinated by conjoined twins.
It is really cool. Like there's the ones, the real famous ones that are around now, that the one suing the other one for jerking off. Because he's saying it's his penis and he's not consenting to him to masturbate.
They probably have the same fucking pocket for their wallet.
So he's like he has a lawsuit against his brother. They're older too, which is what's really weird. Like older.
I think you probably remember a few years ago. It was Abby and Brittany Hensel.
Conjoined at the head.
They were and they're not. Oh God, they're not. I don't know. In terms of, I guess, of being not ugly for a conjoined twin, they're not. You know, they're not ugly.
There was a story I remember hearing about them not too long ago too. I don't remember if it was
I did
them being in adult movies, them doing porn or something.
There was a fake news story.
Okay,
which tickled my pickle to go see what was going on in their lives, and they've completely been removed from the limelight. They're teachers.
Mm-hmm.
They're I want to say in maybe Wyoming or Missouri, some state that nobody lives in, but they're like a 4th or 5th grade teacher.
Okay.
And they had it out with the school because the school only wanted to pay them one salary.
Hell no, dog.
Hell no. No. So the school said, you're only getting one paycheck even though you're two different people. And it kind of caused an uproar with the two of them because I kind of get it, but it's just two heads. Like, you got to buy 2 toothbrushes instead of one.
Yeah.
There's not much difference. But I understand the independence, how they're two different people. That's a tough one.
Maybe what I saw was someone trying to get them to do a porn.
No, there was like a World Star Hip Hop thing that said they were doing porn, and it was circulating. You could.
Well, it's a bummer they didn't.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, buddy. Hopefully they wouldn't catch that jerk off.
My curiosity would have killed me on that.
Yeah, they would have caught that jerk off on the webcam for $1,500. But so the Ming and Ing, the ones we're talking about now, are Chang and Ing. Sorry,
it's like Ming's a wrestler.
Ming, Wing, Wiener, Diener.
He'll beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
He's a scary man.
The Siamese twins we're talking about, they died on January 17th, 1874, but not at the same time.
Oh, no.
Chang died of a stroke brought on by pneumonia sometime during the night. Ing discovered his brother the next morning, and a doctor was called for an emergency separation. But Ing had already died by the time the doctor arrived.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
Dang, it doesn't say what killed him, though. I mean, if they were just conjoined by barely at the liver, I wonder if it's liver failure.
I'm sure it's something to do with like circulation. I mean,
maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
The next one here, Rob's going to tell you about.
The three-legged man, something I've never been called.
It could have been a dick. I saw some pictures of him, but it definitely looks like a leg. He looks like a.
Oh yeah, that's a leg.
He looks like an octopus.
Oh, he can stand up on it too. That was weird.
Yeah, look, he's actually got a 4th leg growing off of it. It looks like a little tit or a dick or a foot.
My mom used to babysit a kid that had a second thumb growing off of his one hand.
Your mom did?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd have killed him.
That kid was weird.
He was definitely.
If you were that kid that my mom used to babysit, I believe your name was Brian.
He was performing the work of Satan.
Do you still have that thumb? And if not, can you please send it to our P.O. Box? The three-legged man, born in Sicily in 1881, Francesco Lentini.
You got it. That was pretty
was unique from birth. He not only had almost entirely complete third leg, but also a huge dick. No, also had a small 4th foot attached to that leg's knee.
That's the picture I just showed you.
Yeah, and even had a second set of reportedly fully functioning genitals.
Oh, he had 2 dicks. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Oh, how much fun would that be? You could just like turn it on like a sprinkler. And
that guy would have charged him $3,000 for his jerk off.
You're gonna need to up the price a little bit for this one.
Lentini's condition was actually the result of a partially formed conjoined twin, which was fused with him at the pelvis. Since the twins' remaining parts were connected directly to Lentini's spine, the doctors determined that it was feasible to remove them. As such, Frank Lentini lived the rest of his life as the three-legged man. Originally, the young Frank was deeply depressed by his condition, but after spending time at a school for disabled children and seeing others who were blind and deaf, he became more accepting of himself, which is a awesome thing to look at, which led to his career in the Sideshow, where he would perform feats like kicking a soccer ball with his third leg or jumping rope. Hey, man, I can't hate on the hustle.
And now for my next act, I will bite my toenails on my third leg.
He eventually worked with all of the major circuses and became extremely well respected in a sideshow community. That is a hustle right there. Good for him.
That is a good ass hustle.
Wonder if he showed his dicks.
Well, that begs the next question. If he did have 2 dicks, would you rather have 2 5-inch dicks or 1 10-inch dick?
A 1 10-incher, dog.
You wouldn't want to have the fun of 2 5-inch.
I mean, it depends on how they were laid out. Maybe if it was like if it was a vertical stack.
If one was in my ass, then yeah, I'd rather have 2 dicks.
If it was like one above the other, so I could use both of them at the same time,
like a DDP type thing.
But if it was like side by side,
that's the old. That's not
unless I was having a threesome. I mean, I guess I really wouldn't benefit from it.
So there's the DP, which is double penetration. But if you have 2 wieners on your own body, then it's DDP, which is double dong penetration.
Okay,
look it up. That's fuck. I know. I didn't write it. I just reported. Okay, guys.
Sure.
But yeah, I think I'd rather take the 2 wieners. Sorry, that hurt you.
You threw me for a loop. I thought you were gonna say the 1.
Yeah, I'll take the.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely have the 2.
10-incher, man. That's scary. That's a hysterectomy hanging from your waist right there. I don't want nothing to do with that right there. That's terrifying. I'm not a woman. I've had a lot of stuff in my ass, but I can't imagine like a 10-inch wiener would feel good. It would have to fucking hurt.
No, you definitely can't. One of our friends has a huge dick. Said he's never had anybody let them go in the butt.
One of our friends.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different ones that could be. Not me, so I guess we can keep the conversation moving.
Of course, it was my wife that asked him, and he was like, "Oh no, no one's ever been like, yeah,
we ain't doing that."
Like, no, thank you.
Doing that. Oh, what? It just.
What a great life to live.
As someone that has something like, not necessarily a 10-inch wiener, but maybe someone with 2 penises, or you got a butthole in the middle of your sack, or something weird like that.
Yeah, there was a guy on Reddit. He had a big following there, with a big thread where he was, talking about he was the guy with 2 penises. He had 2 dicks, and they were both.
I think I remember.
They were both decent sized dicks. They're trying to get him to fuck the girl that had 2 vaginas.
You got 2 pretty good sized sausages on you, boy.
he had me beat. I mean, that's for sure.
God, and not the fucking curse of having a huge wiener than having 2 huge wieners. You probably get dizzy as fuck anytime you got a boner.
Save some wiener for the rest of us, buddy.
Yeah, no shit. I'm still trying to figure out how to get the extra 3 or 4 inches of wiener out of my butt that you're talking about. That's up inside my body.
You got to get it. They got to go in there and give you a little snip and free it.
Every man I talk to, and I'll say, "Hey man, you got 3 or 4 inches of wiener up inside your body." That's usually how all these conversations have been going. I got this new job and I've been meeting all these new people.
Yeah.
And like, "Hey man, how's everything going for you?" I'm like, "Oh,
great, but did you know?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying my time here, but did you know you have 3 to 4 inches of penis up inside your body at any given point?"
I think it's more like 2 to 3, but still, I could use that extra 2 to 3. It ain't doing me shit inside of my body.
Get a boner and push on your grundle. Yeah. My friend Rob told me all about it. Check it out. We got a podcast.
Yeah, do it right now if you're listening right now, because I know you guys got boners.
Speak for yourself.
Just feel up in there.
Send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. Elephant Man is next up. Joseph John Merrick, also known as the Elephant Man, is one of the most famous sideshow performers to have ever lived. Born in 1862 with a still unconfirmed series of genetic defects, Merrick's skin and bones were eventually covered with numerous growths, protrusions, and tumors.
See, sideshow performers, that's what they need to be called instead of freaks.
Not freaks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had a fucking bubble wrap forehead. Look at him.
He looks like
He looks like a fucking monster. That's what he looks like.
He looks like the Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, is that his name?
Something close to that. I can't remember.
In that movie with Cher?
Yeah.
The Mask?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I don't remember.
I think it's Eric Stoltz. I think that's right.
This guy looks like he's got 2 gourds hanging from his head.
Poor guy.
Merrick's condition didn't begin to display itself until the age of 5, and his parents came to believe that it was a result of his mother being frightened by an elephant while she was pregnant with him.
What the fuck?
Hence the elephant moniker. And while I was doing my research for the sideshows and stuff, I learned that back then, part of birth defects and part of birthmarks, there was a belief that if something happened to the mother while she was pregnant with a child, for instance, if she was attacked by wolves, the child would be born with wolf bite marks all over their body.
Weird.
Or in the instance of being frightened by a fucking elephant, your kid comes out looking like a fucking elephant.
Makes no fucking sense at all.
Quick, put it back in! No, it doesn't make any sense.
It's not as simple as, well, his daddy and I are ugly as fuck, so naturally he's ugly as fuck.
The reason he's got a big old wiener on him is because his dad's got a little wiener. It skips generations. It's like balding. Doesn't balding skip generations is what they say?
I think so.
My dad's got a good head of hair on him.
Lucky fucker.
I'm still doing all right.
My dad, well, from what I know of my dad, he does, but he fucking, obviously that skips a generation. So
Yeah.
he's got that mullet.
Elephant Man, he had trouble securing work throughout his life and eventually agreed to join the Sideshow as a means of supporting himself, which also led to him being introduced to Dr. Frederick Treves of the London Hospital. Although he later stated that he didn't mind his time as a performer, he also didn't make much of a living at it and was robbed of all of his savings by one of his managers in Brussels.
No.
He started a GoFundMe for him.
That sucks.
Making his way back to London, he became a permanent resident of the London Hospital after police found Dr. Treves' card in Merrick's possession. During his time there, he became famous among London's elite and received many visitors, including Alexandra, Princess of Wales.
Okay.
He died April 11th, 1890, of asphyxiation in his sleep. Dr. Treves, who had befriended Merrick in the years since he had initially met him, believed that Merrick may have tried to lay his head down when he slept. He usually slept sitting upright, which dislocated his neck and suffocated him.
Oh my gosh.
What a fucking way to go out that is.
Can you imagine your melon weighing that much that you can't even lay with your head down?
You gotta sleep and it breaks your neck. Hey, fathead. You got that big old fat ass mother. You got that fat fucking head.
Wow.
You got a big old doo-doo head.
I can't imagine though being like
Elephant boy head.
like feeling so lost and not being able to keep any work, so the only thing you can do is be a sideshow performer.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Like that's
hopeless. I mean, it's not hopeless. Some people, that's what they want to do, and that's what they want to be. But
yeah, there was this show on one of those bullshit networks like TLC or something. I think it was called Freak Show.
Yeah,
me and my wife used to watch it religiously. It was super cool.
Yeah, there's some really interesting people on there.
Really interesting. Yep.
I was watching Grey's Anatomy with my wife and my daughter, and there was a fucking cat guy on there. He had like whiskers installed and cat teeth. But I've seen this guy. I've seen the guy before. He's real.
Yeah, plastic surgery.
He's got like cat claws and
he's got the stuffed cheeks and stuff.
He does. Yeah. And I said, what happened in that guy's life?
It was his dad, man. It
makes you wonder if he's got one of them cat wieners, because cat wieners are terrifying.
Yeah, I remember we Googled it not too long ago because I never knew what a cat wiener looked like.
Scary. One of our episodes, we talked about the dream where my cat was like, there was a cat dressed in drag sexually assaulting my cat.
Yeah.
And I need to, I don't remember what episode that was. So if anyone remembers what episode I talk about me watching my cat being raped in leather attire, please send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com, because I'd love to review that, because that's a really
that was hilarious.
Intense. It was very intense emotionally.
I remember we got a lot of emails from people about how much they liked that story.
Most importantly, that was the last weird dream I had before last night, where I had a dream I was
last night's Trump sit
sucking my uncle's dick.
I can't believe you actually said it.
Or did I? I don't know. But I need to figure out what I was doing in my life at that point and what I'm doing in my life at this point.
Where it went wrong.
It's causing these dreams to transpire. I need to figure out why my cat was raped and why I was doing other stuff.
Oh, man. Yeah, that cat dream was really good.
Okay.
Let's see here. Ella Harper, the camel toe girl. The camel girl.
Fix yourself, girl.
Ella Harper was born in Hendersonville, Tennessee in 1870.
And she's fucking terrifying, dude.
And she had a trait that made her just ripe for the sideshow. Ella's knees could bend forward like a fucking bird, allowing her to drop down onto her hands and walk on all fours.
With her knees bent backwards.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine that bitch crawling through the house.
She has horse legs.
Your wife's like, oh, I hear something in the kitchen. And you're like, I'll go check it out. And this fucking thing goes scattering down the hallway.
They called her the camel girl, but she looks like a cricket.
She looks like a fucking spider. I'd shoot her. I don't.
Wow, that is crazy.
You got to kill that thing with fire.
Are there any pictures of her standing straight up?
No, I don't think so.
Damn. What the fuck?
That's Obama, baby.
Is that Obama? It looks like he's like that. Okay, anywho, I'm sorry. Nowadays, this is known as a condition called genu recurvatum, but in Ella's days, she was simply referred to as the Camel Girl. It's a lot easier to say. She eventually made her way into W.H. Harris's Nickel Plate Circus, where she was the star of the show. In 1886, when Ella was 16, her pitch card, the biographical information cards that circuses would pass out to the performers. So pretty much it was like their little trading cards that to let you know who was there. Stated that as of that year, she intended to quit the circus to go to school. Sure enough, the Camel Girl disappeared, and no references to her act appear after that year. Wow.
Oh, that's terrifying, dude.
Man, literally, her legs bend the complete opposite direction.
Yeah, her knees go the wrong way. My daughter just texted me and said, let me open this again. She said, the episode is season 10, episode 13 with the cat dude.
Okay.
No, but she's talking about Grey's Anatomy. She's on the other side of the wall. And I said, close your fucking ears. I didn't tell my daughter about the cat dream. That would make me a bad dad. I would be a bad cat dad and a bad dad.
Oh, good times.
That's scary stuff. Oh, this one's good too. Stephen Bibrowski, a.k.a. Lionel the Lion-Faced Man.
Okay.
And you want to talk about a beautiful, majestic man beast. This guy is the one. Look him up. Stephen.
I think I've seen him before too.
Bibrowski. Bibrowski. He was born in 1891 in modern-day Poland. Stephen Bibrowski was an ordinary boy who just happened to have thick hair that grew all over his body.
Majestic.
His mother was convinced, not unlike Joseph Merrick's mother, that the affliction had resulted from her witnessing Stephen's father being attacked by a lion while she was pregnant.
Wait, was his dad attacked by a lion?
Yeah, he was.
Don't you just imagine it? Like,
this,
just wanted to say it.
Yeah, this explanation for birth defects, known as maternal impression, we should definitely look into that.
That's cool, yeah.
Was popular at the turn of the century, but has long since been debunked.
Yeah, you think?
Well, it definitely have a place on the Pariah podcast. His mother thought him a monster.
Aww.
And gave him away to a German entertainer.
Oh my gosh.
What a bitch of a mom.
What a piece of shit.
Just take my baby. In truth, young Stephen suffered from hypertrichosis, the same disorder that gives us the so-called werewolf syndrome.
Nice, okay.
A trait found in contemporary circus performer Jesus Aceves, the Wolf Boy.
Right.
Stephen's hair pattern just happened to more closely resemble a lion's. He has beautiful hair. Stephen was well known for being kind, gentle, and intelligent. Come on, put him on. I'm not a bad guy. He's reported to have spoken 5 languages.
Wow.
Oh, he was a multicultural cat and spent a portion of his act simply talking to his audience.
Wow.
Oh, my God. I can only imagine what that was like.
What if you purred at him?
Stephen was able to retire in his 30s and return to Europe. He died of a heart attack at the age of 41.
Oh, man, that sucks.
They're like, and now for our next death-defying act. Lionel the Lion Man. And he comes out and he's like, hey guys, I'm actually a pretty good accountant and I could probably do your taxes for you if you needed them done, if that's something you're interested in.
I'm here to tell you to invest in stocks and bonds.
I want me to come out here and run around and hit me with a whip and hold a stool up at me, but that's not the game I'm into. I really kind of, and let's look at the dude, he is so handsome and beautiful.
Anybody care to smoke some catnip with me?
Oh, wow. Look how gorgeous his hair was. And his fucking grew over his nose. You can't even see his nose. That is a beautiful man tiger. Stephen
It's so
Bibrowski.
interesting.
It is. Gosh. I think he got a fucking perm. It looks like I can't tell.
I like how it literally looks like it's combed back.
He looks like Beast. Like from Beauty and the Beast.
He really does.
I would rock that dude for sure.
Dude, he'd be the biggest hipster nowadays if he existed.
Everyone would just. He could do whatever. He had the coolest beard and a man bun. He could do whatever he wanted.
I'm curious as to if he was to shave it off, how fast it would be before it grew back. Especially like the facial hair.
You can't even tell where the hair is coming from.
Right. You can see kind of where his nostrils are at.
Oh, yeah. So I guess that's probably just a mustache. That's a mustache. He's combing it up, and then eyebrows, and then cheek hair.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything actually growing out of his nose. I could be.
Man, I don't know.
Let's call him. He's dead. We can't call him.
I was going to say, yeah. He's only 41 when he died. That's crazy. Wait, go down to that picture right there where he's like laying out like one of his French girls.
Draw me like one of your fancy French girls.
His arms aren't that hairy.
Yeah, they are. Look, yes, they are.
Compared to his face. His face hair is longer than his arm. I guess that's not
you and him have the same arms.
We really do.
That's good shit.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
This is right up your alley.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
Annie Jones, the bearded lady, super sexy. Annie Jones may not be the original bearded woman, but she was certainly one of the most famous and possibly the youngest. I think we went to high school with her. Born at an intermediate time. Born at an intermediate time in the 1860s. She started touring with P.T. Barnum when she was only 9 months old. Holy crap. She had a beard when she was 9 months. She quickly became one of Barnum's prize acts and even had grown a full mustache by the time she was 5. Wow. She was usually simply referred to as the bearded girl until she was too old to be called by that name anymore, that is. Although she was also called Monkey Girl. That's super derogatory.
That baby's just not cute, is it?
Yeah. Later in life, Jones was one of the most popular bearded women in the business and used her fame and position in Barnum Circus as a platform for discouraging the use of the word freaks to refer to sideshow performers. Good for her.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. I think that was an excellent way to use that platform.
Use that platform.
I think that.
Do it, girl.
All right, now we gotta go look at pictures of her.
Sure.
I'm sorry, and this is why I am gonna post all these pictures on the Facebook page so everybody can see what we are talking about. Ooh, she was rough. That is. Imagine that thing chasing you at the bar.
Oh my gosh, that beard.
Oh my goodness. That bitch has got some hairy ass knuckles too.
I was about to say something, but I'm going to hold my tongue on it.
All right. That is, it doesn't, that is pretty wild. That is very unfortunate that she looks like that for her sake.
Man.
I can't imagine it was, look at the beard right there.
I was looking at the ponytail. That is super impressive. Yeah, it's.
I'm trying really hard to not be uncultured, but.
Picture
Osama bin Laden.
Picture one of the Hindu guys that blow the flute and the cobra dances out of the barrel. That's kind of what she resembles.
I think it works for her.
Yeah.
Though. She looks nice though.
Yeah.
It's always good when you can braid the hair on your left butt cheek to the hair on your right butt cheek and create a look that works with your dress.
Hey.
Isaac Sprague, the human Skeletor, or skeleton. Ooh. He was born in Massachusetts in 1841, was by all accounts a normal boy, at least until he got to the age of 12 when he began rapidly losing weight, something I, unfortunately, do not suffer from. Before long, his muscle mass had essentially dropped to nil, which is doctors being unable to explain exactly why his condition was listed by at least one as extreme progressive muscular atrophy. At the age of 24, incapable of working any other jobs, he joined the Sideshow. And
you guys need a skeleton?
He looks like Daddy Long. Is it Daddy Longlegs or
Daddy Longneck?
Daddy Longneck. Yeah. Did you see him trying to karate chop the macaroni? Fucking spaghetti noodles.
There was one where I think it was the dude with the fat neck.
Yeah.
He was holding a corn on the cob, and he was trying to chop it, and it was like breaking his hand.
No, it's not. It's not corn on the cob.
No, there was another one where he was doing the corn. I saw the spaghetti one, but he was doing the corn on the cob, too.
I thought the spaghetti noodles were corn on the cob, and they zoomed in. I said, that's fucking spaghetti.
Then maybe that's what I'm thinking of, then.
Yeah, it looks like corn on the cob, but it's
shit.
spaghetti noodles.
That's even more embarrassing.
Trying to karate chop him in half, and he about broke his fucking hand. He looks like he's about 40 pounds soaking wet, though.
Yeah.
Sprague worked with the P.T. Barnum on and off throughout his career, working at Barnum's American Museum and sometimes going on tour with him when he found himself low on money. P.T. Barnum's like, I know why you're back, boy, and we're going to put you to work.
Break out the macaroni.
First off, we got to feed you some. I can't get this daddy long neck.
When I said that, I was just imagining him up on stage karate chopping macaroni. It's funnier when you say macaroni instead of spaghetti noodles.
So, apparently he was low on money a lot because he quite frequently he was in Barnum's shows. He had 3 sons and was rumored to have a gambling problem as well.
You think?
At the age of 44, Sprague was officially measured by a doctor and found to be 5 feet 6 inches tall while weighing a mere 43 pounds.
Holy shit.
I took a 43-pound shit on my lunch break today. He died 2 years later of asphyxiation, probably as a result of his condition. As a result of Sprague's popularity, living skeleton acts became common at many sideshows.
Man, and one thing I've noticed is common theme is that these sideshow performers do not live long.
They don't live long. It's called, as my dad would say, rode hard and put up wet. Buddy.
Yeah, here for a good time, but not a long time.
Just fucking getting after it.
Prince Randian, the living torso. All right, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
So Prince Randian, birth name unknown.
He's just a potato with a dick is all he is.
Was born in 1871 in British Guyana. I don't know how to say that. I'm fucking American.
Guinea? Guinea? I don't know.
Guinea spelled like that?
I don't know.
That's stupid.
I fucking hate guinea pigs. So.
Is that where they come from?
I have to say so. So I automatically don't like this guy.
With tetraamelia syndrome, a disorder that causes the person to be born without limbs, as well as other possible deformities, which Randian did not have. The rest of his early life is a mystery. According to legend, he was brought along with his wife, Princess Sarah, ooh, she got a fun name, to America at the age of 18 by P.T. Barnum himself. The two quickly settled in America and began having children, 5 in total. Randian found fame with his human snake act, where he'd wear a one-piece wool outfit and crawl across the stage.
I'm a snake.
As well as performing a number of acts such as writing or rolling a cigarette with his mouth and shaving with a razor embedded in a wood block.
They're just making him live. They just live your normal life and people are going to watch you. Look how ugly his wife. I think that might be the bearded lady, his fucking wife.
Damn, that hair.
You've got him on top of like a fucking end table. So he could be as tall as her. There's a picture of him standing next to his wife, Rob and I are looking at, and she's standing upright.
That's just a lamp.
And they've got him on like top of an end table because he's only from the waist up. He doesn't exist from the waist down.
What if that was his lower body?
I don't know. I don't like it. That's creepy. That's almost as creepy as the backward leg girl.
Yeah, that is really weird. Let's see here. I don't remember where I'm at. So, actually, Randian was very capable without limbs. He claimed that he built his own props, as well as the box he stored them in, on his own. He was also extremely intelligent and multilingual, and, according to those who worked with him, possessed great wit and sense of humor.
What a fucking mess, dude.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
These people are awesome.
You remember when we were in high school, there was this big inspirational story out of Belmont and Dayton.
Mm-hmm.
It was Bobby. He was went to the inner city schools there. He played football, but he was a torso with arms. He didn't have legs. And I don't know where his dick hid, but he had a lot of fucking he was on ESPN because he was, this inspirational story. He was a really good nose tackle, and he was a torso with arms, and he didn't have any legs at all. But he got around school by being on a skateboard. He would put his torso on the skateboard.
That's pretty sweet.
And then his arms were long enough to touch the ground. He would just kind of like fucking push himself through the halls on the skateboard. Well, he kind of grew up in the projects, and he didn't graduate from the projects after he got out of high school. He kind of went the way of, didn't do very well.
Yeah,
he
stayed in the streets.
He was getting arrested a lot for domestic violence, drug trafficking, some other things. But while I was working private security, he would always come to these late night parties that I would have to fucking be in charge of. Not that I worked security at. And I would always have to pat him down because it was my job to pat people down at the door. And he would always be on his fucking skateboard, and everyone's like, Bobby! They get so amped up to see him, but he was a fucking asshole, dude. He's dead now, but he was a fucking asshole. And I'll say that he was just always a fucking prick. Like
I'm sure he had a chip on his shoulder.
It wasn't very high. Say that. So he's like come through security on his fucking skateboard, and I would make him get off the skateboard because he would fucking put like. They'd want us to make sure no one was bringing guns and shit in. And it would be very easy for him to put his torso right on top of a gun.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He would always throw a fucking bitch fit when I would make him get off of his skateboard. And the one night, he said, man, what you trying to do, grab my dick? And the guard with me who never, ever talked, he's like, I'd really like just to know if you even have a dick. Because he can't, like, it's just a fucking... It's just a torso with arms. You can't. There's nothing from like the belly button down. It doesn't look like. And the guy's like, I don't really like know if you even have a dick. And I was thinking, I'm with him, but I was like, listen, motherfucker, I'm just checking you for guns and knives and bombs and shit.
Shut the fuck up when you start moving. I'm gonna throw a pebble in front of you.
Chill the fuck out. And he's on the skateboard. And at the end of the night, this is when all the fights always popped off.
Sure.
Someone inside the club shot a gun.
Oh no.
Nobody got shot, but everyone starts flying out of the club, like screaming, and just avalanche of humanity comes running out of the club, and I'm like, oh my fucking god! All they gave us was tasers out there. They didn't give us guns. I'm shitting my pants. I don't care if any of those people got shot. I'm just trying to save my own life. Like I don't care. Whatever. But Bobby flies out. It's that diner. It used to be Club Vex. It's like a diner in downtown Dayton. He comes off the fucking, like, there's like a porch going into the front door. He comes out of the club on the skateboard. He, like, Tony Hawks off the fucking
pops
porch.
A wheelie. He ollies out of there.
He ollies off the porch. And onto 3rd Street or...
do a kickflip.
Whatever it was. I think it might have been Wayne Avenue or... I can't remember. It was one of those busy streets in downtown.
Yeah.
But he lands in the fucking street, and when he like ollies into the street, and he lands like a foot into the street, and he lands it, and he keeps going on the skateboard. But then right as he lands and he goes like a half a foot, there's a fucking like a car coming around the corner, and it's like, and it hits him.
No,
he hits the front, and the skateboard keeps on going across the street. And he goes tumbling across the street because he got fucking whacked, and he like screamed. It didn't knock him out because he was still screaming.
What if he got up and was like, "My legs"?
No, that's the best part. The person got out of the car. The guy that hit him, and he goes up to him. He's like, "Oh, bro, you okay? Oh shit!" He just starts screaming. He's like, "I'll knock these fucking legs off." This dude's freaking out. He's like, "He's dead. He's dead." And then Bobby's like holding his ribs. He's like, man, I was trying. Watch where the fuck you going, man? I'm out here in the street trying to get the fuck out. And the dude's like, oh man, we gotta find your legs. And Bobby's like, I ain't got no motherfucking legs. And they're fucking yelling at each other in the street. And the fucking gunshots just went off inside. And then finally, this big old fucking fat chick walks. She's like, hey Bobby, you tell this man you ain't got no fucking legs. And the dude's like, what you mean you ain't got no legs? Like, man, I ride around on a skateboard. And the dude looks over his shoulder, and the skateboard's on the sidewalk, and he's like, oh, I'll go get your skateboard. Goes and gets the skateboard and hands it to him, and Bobby's like, man, my fucking ribs are fucked up. And he hops on his skateboard, and he just fucking pushes himself
Holy
away.
shit.
And this dude gets back in his car, and then you can tell he's just like, I don't know what the fuck just happened.
That probably fucked up his night.
But the sheer terror in this man's voice when he thought he hit this guy so fucking hard that he knocked his legs off.
Oh, dude, that's funny.
I'm just watching, and I said, this is the most perfect thing in the entire world for me. There's nothing that makes me happier than getting to watch things like this unfold right in front of me.
So I'm guessing it wasn't him that brought in the gun.
No, it wasn't him that brought it. I don't know who brought I don't care who brought the gun in, but Bobby got ran over by a car.
And his legs disappeared.
But then, 2 years ago, he was fucking in the projects flying around on a 4-wheeler, no legs, riding a 4-wheeler, and he wrecked and died.
Oh, jeez.
Unfortunately,
He survived the car hit, but couldn't survive.
yeah, but he was he had a really lengthy criminal record. He was I didn't feel sorry for him because he had a really strong history of beating women.
Yeah, fuck that dude.
But the fact that he didn't have any legs, I'm thinking like all these women had to do was just fucking whoop, push his ass over. But he was really strong. I remember he was a good football player, and he didn't even have legs. I think that nothing about that night could be more perfect. Just that I got to watch all that unfold.
Moral of the story: don't be a prick.
Don't be a prick. All right, now we got Miran Deho, the Invulnerable Man, born Arnold Gerrit Henskes in 1912 in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. Miran Deho, a pseudonym he adapted from Esperanto word for wonder, was famous primarily for one thing. He could stick swords and other metal objects straight through his body without injury.
That's some David Blaine shit.
Although not strictly a sideshow performer, Deho was in business for himself. The human pincushion is a traditional sideshow act, and Deho was one of the best at it. According to Deho himself, he learned the trick from Hindu fakirs, fuckers, who are known to occasionally pierce their bodies without injury, albeit not to the same degree as in reality, Deho was never known to have visited India, and he probably just used the story as part of his spiritual angle in his act.
That's how David Blaine learned that way.
Okay. Decades before there were hippies, Deho used his act to preach love, a unifying life force, and a disdain for materialism. Several doctors examined Deho, even performing x-rays on him with a sword still sticking through his body. They discovered that the blade was indeed piercing him, though they had no idea how he was able to perform the maneuver without injury. Modern researchers believe he may have created fistulas, small scar tunnels through his body over many years of slowly inserting the sword into himself. Fucking jeez, man.
It's crazy.
In 1948, he claimed that voices compelled him to swallow a steel needle and then have it surgically removed.
Wow.
He did both, but due either to complications from the surgery or from his performances, or both, Deho died. Boom, boom, boom. See you later, Deho. Died a few days later from an aortic rupture.
I think I've heard David Blaine talk about that before, and like whenever he's explaining it like the guys that taught him. And I might have this completely wrong. I might just be making this up. I don't think I am, because I don't know where to pull this memory from. But he pretty much explains it as like whenever they do like the center body stuff, they almost move their internal organs to avoid puncture as they're doing it.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's real weird.
I feel like that's
I don't get it.
Very wild roll of the dice.
Yeah, he does that with the ice pick, where he'll put it all the way through his hand. And he'll pull it out, and there'll be no blood.
David Blaine's a faker.
I don't know.
He's a piece of shit.
No, David Blaine's the real fucking
deal, He is a faker. Look it up. Look it up. The dude in the black and the white mask on The Magician's Revealed. He knows all of David Blaine's tricks.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
From here, we go to four-legged lady Myrtle Corbin. If your name's Myrtle.
Four-legged Myrtle.
Myrtle Corbin, known as the four-legged girl from Texas, was a... Oh, Jesus Christ.
A dippigus.
A dippigus. Okay. She was born with a severe congenital deformity of conjoined twinning. That caused her to have two separate pelvises and a smaller set of inner legs that she was able to move.
Skateboard down there, and I was wondering if maybe I could see it between them four legs.
Man, I couldn't imagine what that looked like. When she was just a month old, her father began showing her to curious neighbors for a dime.
Sad.
For a dime. Eventually, she attracted the attention of P.T. Barnum and began performing when she was 13. She later performed with the Ringling Brothers and a freak show at Coney Island. By the time she was 18, she had made enough money to retire. Good for her. Yeah. She went on to marry and have 5 children. And it is
one for each leg.
And it is said that 3 were born from one vagina and 2 from the other. So she did have 2 vaginas.
Multiple. That's a lot of douching.
Man.
I bet she stunk in the summertime. No sundress for that bitch.
It doesn't say she died early, so I mean,
yeah, it's hard to say.
It doesn't even say what year, anything about her, like how long ago this was.
This next one's really good too.
Hell yeah.
Le Petomane, and his birth name is Joseph Pujol, and you'll find out why the last name for this guy Pujol is funny here in a second. His birth name's Pujol. Flatulence is a normal part of life unless you can do it at will. This next Sideshow performer figured out how to cash in on his ability. Le Petomane, real name Joseph Pujol, we're going to call him Pujol from now on, was a French Sideshow performer who made his name in the late 19th century. His act was flatulence, or shitting himself, and his skill was unsurpassable.
Oh.
And like a few other acts we've seen, Pujol's brilliance was at least partly attributable to an interesting anatomical feature. He could take up great masses of water or air into his rectum and then spout them out with great control.
Yes.
If that doesn't sound great, hold on a second. If that doesn't sound great, you clearly aren't a 9-year-old, nor have you taken care to think the possibilities through. Because Pujols could blow out candles,
yes,
jet water, great distances, and even play wind instruments.
Good for him.
Fucking butthole in his flatulence. He was wildly popular in France, where he eventually started performing at the famous Moulin Rouge. Kichi, kichi, gaja, goja, milka chocolate, dash. Although we're all probably wondering how he could do this, Pujol's family denied a medical school request to examine his rectum after his death in 1945.
They had that one guy in the Jackass movie that could do that.
We would like to check out his butthole. We were very aware that he could play the clarinet with his butthole, and we would like to learn all about that.
We're about 10 minutes out from our interview, just to keep you posted.
Well, we got 2 more. We can knock these out real quick.
Okay. Two-headed folk. Is that right? That's all right? Yeah.
Yep.
If you think there's just one fake sideshow on the list, I have some magic beans to sell you. Sideshows have historically been rife with hoaxes, and in some way they're even more fun than the real acts. There's something of a relief in seeing the audience exploited as opposed to the performers. Pascual Pinion, also known as the two-headed Mexican Jesus, is a kind of in-between sideshow performer. Although, spoiler, he didn't really have 2 heads. He did have a medical condition that gave him his start. Pinion was actually a railroad worker in Texas with a large tumor growing from his head. A promoter saw him one day and was like any reasonable person thought, I should absolutely pretend that's a second head and put him in a traveling show. They put a wax mask on the tumor so that it resembled a face. And basically had Pinion sit quietly as strangers gawked at him.
Hey, get your ass over here. We're going to put this thing on your fucking head. That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, that's wild.
And last but not least, we got Elmer McCurdy. Before his death,
He makes good glue.
He does. It tastes wonderful. Elmer McCurdy was the stuff that spaghetti westerns are made of. After it, he became the kind of a character that Alfred Hitchcock or David Lynch might dream up.
Cool.
A small-time crook in the early 20th century, McCurdy was shot by authorities after a train robbery in 1911. The Oklahoma funeral home that ended up with the body had the bright idea of embalming him for display.
Okay.
They embalmed him with such gusto, however, that he became mummified.
Shit.
5 years later, a Sideshow promoter saw McCurdy in the funeral home display. Goddamn, 5 years.
They had him in display in a funeral home, too?
And pretending to be a relative, took the body for his own exhibition where McCurdy became the Oklahoma outlaw. For the next 60 years, McCurdy's body, 60 fucking years,
That's crazy.
was passed from show to show, which begs the questions, why was there such a strong man for lots of dead outlaw exhibitions? Eventually, he was sold to a wax museum as a mannequin, but when a clumsily broken arm on the mannequin revealed a bone,
oh my gosh,
police were called to investigate.
He said he was a mannequin. Put little funny outfits on him and shit.
Put some torn up jeans on the new mannequin. A ticket from a crime museum, one of McCurdy's many post-mortem homes, was stuck in his mouth, and his identity was sussed out. McCurdy was finally buried in 1970.
Dang, that's crazy. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that concludes Sideshows, which brings us to Lori Beth Denberg. I don't have any questions written down.
I think we can wing it. I got a couple things that I want to say. I have a couple questions I want to ask. I asked the Secret Super group some if they had any questions. I have a couple that they want to know, but
okay, sweet.
A lot of the stuff I'm not going to ask because it's kind of inappropriate. But
yeah, that's fine. All right, well, stick around for the interview with All That's What other movies was she in?
She was in Dodgeball.
Dodgeball?
She was in Figure It Out on Nickelodeon.
She's awesome. She's incredible. We're super happy to have her. Lori Beth Denberg.
We cutting off the YouTube?
Yeah, we have to.
Love you guys. Have a good night. Listen to the interview.
Yeah.
I'm going to go piss. So I don't have to piss on my guest. Unless she'll let me.
See y'all later. See y'all. I don't know how to turn it off. Okay, there we go. End it.